Hey there! If you're a caregiver for someone dealing with incontinence, you already know the challenges. They're not just physical, right? They're emotional, and they can be a huge financial burden. So that's what we're going to tackle today. We're going to walk through where you can find free and low-cost supplies to help lift some of that weight.
Wow. This comment from another caregiver, it just hits home, doesn't it? These costs have driven us into crisis. The financial strain is absolutely real, and it can feel so overwhelming. But the key part of that quote is the end. It's good to know there is help. And that's the good news. Help is out there, and we're about to dive into exactly where you can find it.
So let's just put a number on that strain just to see what we're dealing with. We're talking about a potential cost of up to $400 a month. That's for adult diapers, pads, all of it. For anyone, that's a lot of money. But if you're working with a fixed income, it can feel completely impossible.
And listen, if this is your reality, I really want you to hear this. You are so far from alone. We're talking about something that affects somewhere between 15 and 35% of all older adults. It is a really common condition. And you know what? Because it's so common, a whole network of support has actually been built up to help people manage it.
All right, so first up, let's really dig into this financial burden. Because, understanding the problem is always the first step to actually solving it.
Okay, this is probably one of the biggest points of confusion for so many people. Medicare versus Medicaid. And here's the deal. Original Medicare, it typically does not cover these supplies. They actually call them personal comfort items. Yeah, I know. But Medicaid and some Medicare Advantage plans, that's a whole different ballgame. A lot of state Medicaid programs and certain Advantage plans might be exactly where you'll find the financial help you're looking for.
So, the big question is, how do you actually tap into that help from programs like Medicaid? Let's start at the top, with the official government programs. These are often going to be your most powerful sources of assistance.
Getting supplies through Medicaid sounds complicated, but it's really just a few clear steps. Okay, step 1. The person you're caring for has to be enrolled in your state's Medicaid program. Simple enough. Step 2. You need an official diagnosis from a doctor. Step 3. You'll need a prescription or something called a certificate of medical necessity. That sounds fancy, but really, it's just an official note from the doctor saying, hey, these supplies are medically essential, not just a comfort item. And the last step, and this one is super important, you have to contact your local Medicaid office. Why? Because every state has slightly different rules, so that phone call is absolutely key to get the specific details for your area.
And it's not just Medicaid. There are other really important official programs to know about. For veterans, there's the VA. They'll cover supplies if you're enrolled and have a prescription. There's also the Veteran-Directed Care Program, which is great because it gives veterans a flexible budget for medical costs so they can even choose the brands they prefer. And don't forget the Family Caregiver Support Program. It provides grants to states, and sometimes that money can be used to cover these exact kinds of supply costs.
Okay, so the official programs are a fantastic starting point, but the help doesn't stop there. In fact, sometimes the absolute best resources are hiding in plain sight, right in your own neighborhood.
And what's amazing is just how much local help is really out there when you start looking. You've got things like adult diaper banks. Yep, they're a real thing. Nonprofits that give out free or super cheap supplies. The Salvation Army can be a good place to check for donated items. Your local senior center is another potential gold mine. But if you're feeling totally lost and don't know where to even begin, the one call you should make is to your local area agency on aging. Their whole job is to connect people with these exact kinds of local programs. Seriously, they're an amazing first stop.
And here's another way to think about it, a little outside-the-box tip. Incontinence is often connected to other chronic conditions, right? Like Alzheimer's or dementia or cancer. Well, the organizations that focus on those illnesses can be another fantastic resource. Think about it. The Alzheimer's Association, the American Cancer Society. They might give you supplies directly, or at the very least, point you to partners who can.
All right, so finding free supplies is goal number 1. But let's be realistic. You might still have to buy some, so let's talk about some smart ways to lower those out-of-pocket costs. These are practical things you can start doing, like today.
First off, go straight to the source. Check the company websites directly for coupons. Buying in bulk, it almost always drops the price per item, so it's a huge saver over time. Next time you're at the pharmacy, ask about discount prescription cards that might cover supplies. And don't forget this one. These supplies can often be tax deductible if you have that doctor's note saying they're a medical necessity. And finally, always compare prices with online stores. You can find some amazing deals there.
Now, this next point is absolutely crucial, and it's something people often overlook. Finding the right product isn't just about comfort.
it is 100% about your budget. Because think about it. If you're using something with the wrong absorbency or bad fit, you're just creating waste. And that waste is literally costing you money in the long run.
So how do you find that just right product without spending a ton of money testing things out? Well, you can start by asking for free samples. Call the companies directly. Ask your doctor's office. Read online product reviews. Learn from what other caregivers have already figured out. And of course, talk to a doctor or nurse to make sure you're getting the right absorbency level. Oh, and definitely consider reusables. Yeah, the upfront cost is a little more, but man, they can save you so much money over time.
And just to give you a head start on that sample search, here are a few brands that are known for offering samples and coupons right on their websites. You can check out Tenna, Depend, Simply Medical, and Carewell. That's a great place to start your research.
Phew, okay, we have covered a lot of ground here, right? From big government programs like Medicaid all the way down to local diaper banks. But you know what? The most important step is just the next one you take. So, looking at all these options we just talked about, what's one call you could make or one website you could visit today? Just picking one thing to do can make all the difference.
Just remember, trying to manage the cost of all these supplies, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But please know that you are not in this by yourself. As we've seen, there is so much help out there, from the federal level all the way down to a charity in your own town.
We really hope this was helpful. This has been a guide from DailyCaring.com. If you got something out of it, please do us a favor and hit that like button. And maybe even subscribe to the Caregiver channel for more content just like this. We'd love to have you.